brought up to think of religion as an organized way to change the world. But what's religion made up of? It's made up of people, congregations of people. Pastors are people. Popes and bishops are people. And each one of those people is as subject to the laws of creation as me and you. And the laws of creation are the manifestation of the Creator himself. It is through those laws that we are able to live within creation. But the truth of the matter is, we only have our free will. We do something or we don't do it, nature has the last word. Nature always has the last say. So the conditions in which we live are what nature gives us back in response to what we put into it. I'm going to read, a little bit out of this book. I'm not going to read a whole chapter because that would take a long time. But I'll read some excerpts from maybe 3 or 4 chapters that give you a sense of what this book is all about and in the context of what we've just talked about. And then I will open it up for questions, or if anybody has anything they would like to say or any comments, okay? But this book is called In the Light of Truth, and it is available through this website. And it comes in paperback, hardback. You can buy it as an audiobook. You can buy it as an MP3, all kinds of ways you can get it. So what I will do is I will read something from the first volume. So in the first volume, the very first chapter is titled, What Seek Ye? What are you looking for? What do you seek? Look at the innumerable books. They do not animate. They only weary the human spirit. And this is the proof of the barrenness of all that they offer. For whatever wearies the spirit is never right. Spiritual bread immediately refreshes. Truth revitalizes, and light animates. Listen, you despondent ones. Lift up your eyes, you who are seriously seeking. The way to the highest lies open to every human being. Proficiency in learning is not the gate to it. Did Christ Jesus, that great example on the true path to the light, choose his disciples among the learned Pharisees, among the scribes? He took them from the simple, natural people because they had no need to struggle against this great delusion that the way to the light is hard to master and must be difficult. This thought is man's greatest enemy. It is a lie. Therefore, away with this needless torture of spiritual enslavement. Not for nothing does the great master exhort us to become like children. Whoever bears within himself the firm volition for what is good and strives to give purity to his thoughts has already found the way to the highest. All else will be added unto him. This requires neither study of books nor spiritual straining, not asceticism, not solitude. Wake up, look around you, listen to your inner voice. That alone can open the way. Shatter the walls of dogma within you. Tear off the blindfold so that the pure light of the highest may reach you undimmed. Then your spirit will soar aloft in exaltation, jubilantly sensing all the great love of the Father of all creation. That love which knows no limitations of earthly intellect. You will at last know that you are a part of this love. You will grasp it easily and completely, unite with it, and thus gain new strength daily and hourly as a gift, enabling you to ascend out of the chaos as a matter of course. I will read another chapter out of the first volume. And this chapter is titled Awake. Wake up. Consider what applies to one person does not apply to all. What helps one person may harm the other. Each individual must make his own way to perfection. The abilities he carries within him are his equipment for this. He must adjust himself to them and build upon them. Otherwise, he will remain a stranger to his real self, will always stand beside what he has learned, which can never come to life in him. Thus, he is barred from any gain. He will vegetate, all progress being impossible. Listen, you who seriously aspire to light and to truth. Each individual must inwardly experience the way to the light. He must discover it himself if he wishes to be sure of the way. Only what a man experiences inwardly, what he perceives and senses intuitively in all its variations, has he truly grasped. You seek the truth. What is truth? What you still feel to be truth today, you will recognize even tomorrow as error, in which, however, you will later again discover grains of truth. For the manifestations of your seeking also change their forms. Thus, your seeking continues. Yet, amid these changes, you mature. Truth, however, remains always the same. It does not change, for it is eternal. And being eternal, it can never be clearly and truly grasped by the earthly senses, which are familiar only with the change of forms. Therefore, become spiritual, free from all earthly thoughts, and then you will be surrounded by the truth. You will possess the truth, will stand in the truth, will bathe in it, constantly surrounded by its pure light, for it will envelop you completely as soon as you become spiritual. You will already have the answer to every question in the truth itself. Moreover, you will no longer have any questions, because without thinking, you will know all things, will embrace all things, because your spirit will live in the pure light, in the truth. Therefore, become spiritually free. Burst all the fetters that hold you down. If obstacles present themselves, welcome them joyfully, for they show you the way to freedom and strength. Look upon them as gifts from which you will benefit, and you will overcome them with ease. I will read a couple more excerpts. This is from a chapter titled Silence. Truth has never yet been different from what it was even then, and is today, and still will be tens of thousands of years from now, for it is eternal. Therefore, learn to know the laws contained in the great book of the entire creation. To submit to them means to love God, for then you will bring no discord into the harmony, but will help to bring the resounding chord to its full magnificence. Whether you say, I voluntarily submit to the existing laws of nature because it is for my own good, or you say, I submit to God's will, which manifests in the laws of nature, or I submit to the unfathomable power which activates the laws of nature. Would the effect be any different? The power is there, and you recognize it. You simply must acknowledge it, because as soon as you reflect a little, there is nothing else you can do, and thereby you acknowledge your God, the Creator. This next excerpt is from also the first volume. The title of that chapter is Errors. Errors, as in mistakes. Here, in spite of the best volition, thousands stumble. They raise their eyes seeking towards the heavens, not realizing that without effort, they have only to look before and around them. They will then see that through their existence on earth, they are already standing on the right road and need only go calmly ahead, without haste and without effort, but with open eyes and a free, unprejudiced mind. Man, meaning the human being, must at last learn that true greatness lies only in the most simple and natural happening. That greatness implies simplicity. Only simple thinking and intuitive sensing can give him clarity. Such simplicity as children still possess. Calm reflection will show him that in the ability to comprehend, simplicity is identical with clarity and also with naturalness. The one concept cannot be thought of without the others. They form a triad that expresses one concept. Whoever makes it the foundation stone of his search will soon break through the confusion. The same chapter goes on to say, the human being will realize that the natural order of events may nowhere be eliminated, and that at no place is it interrupted. And therein, the greatness of God also reveals itself. The unchangeable vitality of the self acting creative will. For the laws of nature are the inexorable laws of God, continually visible to all human beings, testifying to the greatness of the Creator and demonstrating an unshakable regularity, admitting of no exception, of no exception. These three fundamental laws, the law of gravitation, the law of attraction of same kind, and the law of reciprocal effect, form the cornerstones of the divine will. The effect of these simple laws brings every human spirit exactly to the place where, according to his inner attitude, he does belong. Any error here is impossible because the manifestation of these laws can only be set in motion by the inmost condition of a human being, which will, however, set it in motion without fail in every case. And the last excerpt is from the third volume. The title of that chapter is Ask, and it shall be given unto you. The table in creation always offers you everything you need, and petitions are unnecessary if you only make the right kind of effort to move within the laws of creation, which are the laws of God. All this has already been said in words well known to you. Seek, and ye shall find. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. These words teach you the necessary activity of the human spirit in creation. And above all, they teach you the right and correct application of his or her ability. They point out exactly the way in which the human being must comprehend creation, and also the path which will help him onward. If you decide to read this book, I would advise you very strongly to not go looking for individual chapters to read, because this book forces you to first and foremost re-examine all the beliefs that you have built up within yourself over many lifetimes. And in examining them, in re-examining them, you will come to the conclusion that there are many that have not served you very well and have actually contributed to the maze in which you find yourself now. At least that was my experience in reading the book. And so, like I said, earlier, I found that, wait a minute, I had to go back to the very beginning and now read it chapter by chapter and apply. And every time I read a chapter, I would look at my life and see how this chapter clearly reflected everything that was going on in my life. And in doing that, I could begin to rebuild my understanding of myself, of my life. And only after doing that, or only in doing that, I could better understand my surroundings, my family, my neighbors, my friends, and the world in which I live. The other thing is that this book introduces, or it introduced to me, concepts that were entirely new to me. The idea that I can't really separate the world from the creator and his creation. That everything that happens in the world is subject to these laws. I never thought about it that way. And the moment I could begin to think with clarity and experience my life with clarity, there was a transformation that till today is going on. And I continue to read the book. And every time I read it, I learn something new. There is never an end to the learning and the growing that comes once a person decides, okay, I'm going to just drop everything I thought I knew, drop everything I thought I understood, and start from the very beginning. And that was my experience. If you choose to read the book, uh, like I said, it's something that you experience it as you read it. The book you read slowly, one day at a time, and uh, it it will challenge you. It will challenge your beliefs. It will challenge everything in you, and at the same time, it challenges you to become the person that you could be. That's the challenge that it throws on the table in front of you. You can be. It challenges you to be that person that you can be, but you will be it only when you discover your will and understand how your will works within the laws of the Creator, which are the will of the Creator. And that's what I would like to leave you with.
It talks a lot about clarity. What does simplicity, could you say a little bit more about what simplicity looks like?
Well, simplicity is allowing yourself to think like a child. You're trying to teach mathematics to a child. As adults, we know that the laws of mathematics are immutable, right? The laws of mathematics. 2 plus 2 can never make anything but 4. The interesting thing about mathematics is really a manifestation of the laws of creation. Just like music, the laws of music are a manifestation of the laws of creation. So when you're trying to teach a child mathematics, you don't say, well, 2 plus 2 equals 4. What would you do when you wanted to teach a child the concept of 2 plus 2 equals 4? What would you do?
You take two stones and show how they make 4 stones. That's one way.
Exactly. So you teach the child experientially rather than intellectually. When we're in college, we're taught intellectually. But when you're teaching a child, you have to teach the child experientially. The child learns from its experience. You experience something, and then you're like, oh, now I understand this. And once you've experienced it, there'll be no question in your mind that this is the way it works, that it always works this way. And that's what simplicity is all about. From your experience, know that your experience is the truth, is right, not what you're told from the outside. Does that make sense?
Yes, that helps a lot to understand, especially that it's about experientially rather than intellectually.
Right. Simplicity is another way one could put simplicity is, don't try to dissect something from your head. Experience it and ask yourself, what is it meant to teach me? Let me be like a child and let my experience teach me. Much later down the road, as your spirit matures, then your spirit can put it together. But to get there, you need to first become experiential like a child. Once you read this book, the first thing that will happen with you is all of a sudden your life is like radically transformed.
How do I re-enter the world? I mean, I know this sounds like I don't know. I don't even know the kind of question I'm asking. I have this book. I've read some. I actually skipped around chapters. Now I will go back and start at the beginning. But how do you kind of live this way and go out into the world and still stay living this way? Does it just come down to the trust and the belief and all of that?
I'm going to say to you, if you read this book from page 1 and then page 2 and then page 3 and 4 and 5, you will have what you need to go out into the world. There is, there is a very good reason why the book and the chapters are arranged the way they are arranged. Do not jump around. Pick it up again, read it from page 1. Make, if you make a resolution to yourself to read 1 page a day, you don't have to read a whole chapter. Even if you read only 1 paragraph a day, but you read it consecutively, you'll find that whatever you read that day, that 1 page, will give you the tools you need to deal with whatever you encounter that day. Initially, when the book said that, I read that in the book, and I was like, wait a minute, that can't be. And then I discovered that that is exactly what happened, what was happening for me. That if you read a chapter and read it with an open mind, think about it a little bit, and then put the book down and go about and experience your life, live your life. But keep the chapter you read in the back of your mind, and you will be shocked. I mean, like utterly shocked how everything that happens that day will just bring up whatever you read that day. Just try it. Okay? I hope that answers your question. Although it's really a challenge that I'm throwing back at you.
I will start over and I will just read a page or 2 a day.
It's a gradual process. And the first step, I cannot say this often enough. The first step is read the book 1 page at a time, because it gives you tools that you can build one on top of the other. That's what these pages do. These chapters build up on whatever the previous chapter gave you. The next chapter builds up on top of it. Like Lao Tzu said, you can't pour new tea into a cup that has old leftover tea in it. So for a short while, your cup has to be empty. in order for some fresh tea to come into it. And that period of having an empty cup is very scary for all of us, painfully scary. But I'm going to say to you, just pick up the book, read one page at a time. It will give you the courage you need, it will give you the guidance you need, and it will help you, encourage you to look inside yourself and find the, the power that is your inner power to move forward in your life and create the reality that is waiting for you. Thank you all.